Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to. That's better. Welcome to FPL Don't Panic. Game week 12 is finally upon us. Thank God that international break is over. I thought it was never going to end. We can get down to the actual serious business of finalising our teams and hopefully looking forward to a successful game week 12. For one, I have not. I'm so undecided on so many parts of my team at the moment. I know whoever's going to end up on my bench is going to end up scoring. But I guess it's testament to the strength of my squad and what I had, really been aiming to have in place coming into this busy Christmas period. So, questions. Some of them I think I know the answers to. Some of them I definitely don't. Henderson or Fabianski. I think it's going to be Henderson, much as I hate to have him in there again for yet another week. I think I am coming up with a plan. I think he's going to have to go. Coming up with a plan towards that, maybe in about 3 or 4 game weeks, rather than waiting for the next wildcard opportunity. But I think for now, Fabianski, Newcastle, Henderson, Aston Villa. It's a toss. You know what? It might just be a toss-up. Just take a gamble. At the moment, I've got Henderson in. I might change that. I may well change that. What have I got to lose? Gvardiol, Tottenham at home. Yeah, quite happy with that. I think will Tottenham score? Yes. Do I fancy Gvardiol could ping one in from outside the box? He's been doing it regularly. And I think did he score on his international break? I think he might have done it. Anyway, listen, he's got a big upside on him. Will there be a clean sheet with Man City? Probably not, but we'll see on that one. Gabriel, yeah, pretty happy with that, and I am contemplating a few things. I'm contemplating for in about 3 or 4 game weeks when I sort of do a little mini restructure for the next for sort of the 16 to 20 sort of fixtures, 15 to 20. Contemplating, do I go on double Arsenal defence? At some point, they've got a really good run of fixtures. I fancy Arsenal to get back on track. Haven't had much out of Gabriel in the last 3 or 4 game weeks, but between their injuries, sort of people coming back from injury, I'm hopeful we could see a return to form for Arsenal and start seeing some of those clean sheets. And you never know with Gabriel, there's always a decent chance he might get his head onto something and get me a goal, which would be lovely. Hall is in defence at the moment. Konza, as you can see, I've got yellow flag hell in there at the moment, but I'm hopeful most of them will actually play. I think they are international injuries, as I said in one of my videos a week or so back. I do kind of fancy Aston Villa for a clean sheet in this as well. Then, of course, we've got the upside of Aït-Nouri, who has had a few decent amount of returns, attacking returns this year. Not much chance. Tricky fixture away to Fulham, though. I think I'm set on Hall. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that. I think I'll stick with Hall. I fancy Newcastle at St James's. They seem to have turned a little bit of a corner. They're finding a bit more form now, getting some decent results, eking their way up the table. And at St James's Park, against West Ham, who just pretty weak at the moment all round, I think. Bowen's probably going to get a couple of goals, isn't he, just to spite me. But listen, I think I'm going to stick with Hall on this. Salah. Yeah, nothing to see there. He is clearly going to be playing. The question does come, and I am thinking about this one seriously, I have to say. Captain's armband on Palmer. I've looked at some of the other content providers, Salah's clips clearly does seem to be the choice, but Palmer is a flat track bully. He loves it. He loves it against the sort of relegation threatened sides, and he is capable of 2, 3, 4 goal hauls. Salah's clearly the form player. Palmer's had a few difficult fixtures. He hasn't done much in the last couple of game weeks. But against Leicester, it would not surprise me if he gets a goal or two and an assist and comes away with some ridiculous 20-pointer or something like that. I think I'm about 51% on Salah, 49% on Palmer. It will be a last-minute decision. And I guess it comes down to, do I think there'll be much difference between them? I think Palmer's got the higher upside. I do fancy he's going to get an attacking return or two. I think Salah's could be getting an attacking return or two. But Palmer could get an attacking return 3 or 4. Talking myself into a Palmer captaincy here. No decisions made yet. It could be a coin toss. Let's see how that goes. Another big decision is, do I play Mbemo or Wizard? Again, I think Mbemo's numbers have dropped off in recent weeks. I think since maybe since Wiz has come back in, but I love them as a combo. But they're not great away from home. It's quite clear to see where the points are coming from. It's on those home fixtures. Do I think they will score against Everton away? You know, Branthwaite's back. Everton are looking more resilient now and stronger. Don't look like scoring much, but then Brentford away from home. Not fantastically defensively, well, not fantastically defensively home either, but they tend to outscore the opposition, which is why I love having them both at the home fixtures. I think I might put Wizz in, to be honest with you. I think Mbemo's goal threat has lessened since Wizz has come in. I think Mbemo's more of a creative threat. He could well score. He is a fantastic player. I love having him in my team at the moment while the fixtures are good. Think I might go with Wizard, but Wizard doesn't score away from home. It's a dilemma. It's a good problem to have. I do fancy they'll get one goal, at least at Everton, and one or both will be involved in it. It could be an Mbemo assist for a Wizard goal. It's a decision to be made. I think I might put Wizard in and just go with the three-pronged attack on against three reasonable opportunities, I think, for scoring. Saka, not Forest home yet. I guess we obviously have the doubt around whether he's going to play or not. I'm going to start him, and then if he doesn't play, he doesn't play. We can't trust Arteta. Arteta lies, and if he says, I'll be keeping an eye on the pressers. If he says Saka is definitely fit, I think we can take it that he is definitely not playing. So I will review that, but I'll look at the press conferences. If he says he's out, then he's definitely playing. It's Arteta. We can see through the tissue of lies now, I think. Bruno Fernandes, Ipswich away, great fixture, new manager. What formation will they be playing? It looks as though it'll be going with a sort of 3-4-3, and maybe Bruno playing a bit higher up. But this is just all conjecture from United fans, of which I am one, guilty. But hopefully the Bruno train keeps rolling. We missed the Hall last week, unfortunately. But Bruno last year was going along terribly for a wee while. Then when he broke the seal and started getting a couple of returns, he was returning on a 10-point average for the last roughly 8, 9, 10 game weeks of the season. So hopefully we're getting in early. Hopefully we can see those sorts of returns. Good 7, 8, 9, 10s. If Bruno gets anything, an assist or a goal, he is going to be in the bonus points as well. And that's why he keeps hitting those 10 points regularly if he gets any sort of a return. And it would be nice to see sort of that coming in over the next few game weeks. Bit of a fixture turn in a couple of game weeks, but I've got really good bench rotation options here, which I'm really happy with for the next 3 to 4 game weeks. Up front, this is another bit of a gamble, I know. Going to go with João Pedro. Do I think he'll start? I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. He's obviously come back from injury. He came on for 20 minutes and destroyed City last week. The manager said before he had his injury that João Pedro was intrinsic to the team. He was the Mo Salah for Brighton. He was the Saka for Brighton. He is their talismanic player, and he's a leader. I think if he's fit, ready to go, I think he'll start. I'm going to take a punt on that one. But even if he only comes on for 30, you couldn't put it past him to get a goal, an assist or something, or get some sort of a score. So I am going to go with him up front. Cunha, Fulham away, not the greatest fixture. I think Fulham are not bad at home. And obviously Wolves are still rooted down near that bottom of the table. But I don't think it's too bad a fixture. And I like Cunha, and he's got a nice creative thread as well. So overall, I don't think what's on the screen there at the moment is too far off the mark. The questions become, is it a Salah or a Palmer captaincy? I think that could be a deadline decision, literally the last minute, and just toss a coin. And then do I bring Wizard in for Mbeumo? Don't know. So those are kind of the decisions. So yeah, goalkeeper, I probably am going to go with Henderson in all honesty. Defence I think is tight. I think that's good. I like it. I like the look of it. I think there's some points there, and a few questions there in midfield. As I say, I've got the captaincy decision, and Mbemo Wiza, and João Pedro and Cunha definitely starting. So that's kind of, I think that's where it's at. I don't think I'll do another stream pre the actual match itself. I'll just make those decisions and we'll see where it lands, and we'll do a review obviously next week, whether they were good decisions, bad decisions, or in between decisions. I like the look of the teams. A lot of away fixtures there. My forecast, as I've mentioned, I think was about 68 points. Feels a little optimistic with so many away fixtures, but I've got a lot of big hitters in there. Just takes one or two of those to haul, and it's happy days. I will obviously do a review next week, and I'll also talk a little bit more around some of my thoughts on what I want to do over the next 3 to 4 game weeks. And I think if this team's ticking along okay, I think I'll roll. I think in the main that I will roll. Most of these players at the moment are hitting their 3 out of 5 averages, as is returning in 3 out of 5 matches, and that's kind of where I want to try and have a team gone. So hopefully that will still be the case post this game week, so there won't be any sort of surgeries needed anywhere. The reasons I think I'm going to want to roll, we're coming into a busy period. The squad, provided these yellow flags are just international injuries, isn't badly set up in terms of rotations and having a pretty decent team to field each week. In fact, as I say, there's going to be more benching dilemmas to come. The reason I want to try and roll is I do really want to look at getting rid of Henderson. So I want to look to roll for 2 or 3 game weeks. And we're going to have 3 or 4 game weeks coming up pretty quickly. And that'll give me an opportunity just to, reset the squad, the team going out, deadline comes in, another fixture, another transfer built up. So I would like to get to 3 or 4 transfers over the coming weeks. I would like to sort out the Henderson situation, my goalkeeper situation. I would like to potentially move Gvardiol out, unless he is consistently hauling, to free up money so I can do a bit of surgery for sort of the next fixture swing in 3 or 4 game weeks. So that would be involved ideally sort of, and Mbemo might go down to we'll say Semenyo for now, because Semenyo, Bournemouth do have a really nice run of fixtures. And then I've actually freed up money to bring in Isak, but it also leaves me a pathway should I decide to in 3 or 4 game weeks. Do I want to look at bringing Haaland back in? I've got a feeling he's going to start hauling again. It's just a gut feel. He looked angry last week at the end of that match when he got his yellow. He looked very frustrated, and that frustration is going to boil into one of 2 things. He's going to blow a gasket and get sent off, or just keep missing, or he is going to start banging in 2s and 3s. Now, what I'd like to see, if he is banging in, a couple of goals a week, I'd nearly like to see it fairly quickly and early in the season, so I can see how does a Haaland banging in 2 goals a week, how does the depth of this team stack up against that? So we're probably likely to let this roll for the next 3 or 4 weeks, this team, just with the tweaks, obviously, of bringing in, the rotations, etc. And hopefully I'll get some luck with injuries and things like that, so I don't have to do any transfers, etc. But I'll start to take you through, I think, maybe in the next week or so, sort of a little bit more on my methodology, which is a pretty basic methodology to see what sort of numbers a team is likely to produce as a unit, and where I can afford to skimp here, to spend here, etc., etc., and what sort of points totals that team was likely to bring in on a weekly basis. So I'll bring up a spreadsheet or something, or do some diagrams, and we'll see if we can get them up on the screen so I can show you. But at the moment, this team is set up, and the way I set it up over the last match game week or 2, it is set up to try and bring me through the next 3 or 4 game weeks, build up some transfers, and then look at that like hopefully minor surgery in about 4 game weeks time, 3 or 4, game week 15, I think, about game week 15, or major surgery if I feel I need to bring Haaland back in, and see potentially what I can do around a Salah Haaland draft and how much that really weakens the team if Haaland's banging and if this team isn't matching his numbers and keeping me ahead of the game. That's it. A little bit of a waffly one, pre game week 12 deadline. As always, guys, there's a few more subscribers coming on board. I really do appreciate it. It's nice to know that I'm not waffling away to myself here. Don't know if there's any value there for you, but if there is, hit a like, make a comment. It's been lovely. I've had some nice comments over the last week or so, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I will leave it at that for now. And if I manage to get live on Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoffs, fingers crossed we might even have a watch along stream, and we can cry and cheer together as the goals fly in, and hopefully a few clean sheets are kept. Take care, guys. See you soon.